right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to deconstruct a company's digital front door. Yep, its homepage. We'll be looking at the agency Icarus Marketing to see how they present themselves, and hopefully we'll uncover some really key lessons in how to tell a story online and make a killer first impression. Let's dive right in. So, what story does a homepage actually tell? I mean, it's so much more than just a bunch of links and text, right? It's a whole narrative. It's the story a company chooses to tell about itself, who they are, what they're all about, and most importantly, what they can do for you. You got to think of it like a carefully planned journey, one that's designed to take someone from just being curious to actually becoming a customer. For Icarus, this is where that journey kicks off, right at the top, front and center. This is their big headline promise. It's not just a boring statement, it's the main reason they think you should stick around. And they want every single visitor to see it first. It totally sets the stage for everything else that comes after. Okay, so you make a big promise like that. How do you back it up? Well, they immediately break their whole approach down into 3 core ideas. And this is really smart. It's a classic trick in communication. For some reason, our brains just find information presented in threes to be more memorable, more persuasive. So let's check out their 3 main chapters. Their first pillar is design. By starting here, they're making a really powerful statement. They're telling you that for them, looks and user experience aren't just an afterthought. Nope, they believe it's absolutely essential to their entire philosophy. Next up, we've got marketing. I mean, no surprise there for a marketing agency, right? But by calling it out so clearly, they're defining the engine of what they do. This is the action, the driving force that they promise is going to deliver real, tangible results for their clients. And the third and final pillar is strategy. You could call this the brains of the whole operation. It's the why behind the what. By putting this here, they're suggesting that every single design choice, every marketing campaign is all guided by a careful, thought-out plan. And here is how they tie it all together in a nice little bow. They come right out and say they believe in the power of, you guessed it, design, content, and modern strategies. They're hammering home those 3 pillars and giving them a really clear purpose: to help brands grow. It's basically a mission statement built right on top of their own foundation. So we've got the big promise and the 3 pillars, but that's all still pretty high level, isn't it? The next stop, as we scroll down their homepage, is the nitty-gritty, the actual tools they have in their toolkit. Now, what's really interesting here is how they translate those pillars into actual services you can buy. Design becomes web design, branding, and design. Marketing becomes SEO, PPC, and digital marketing. And strategy is kind of woven through everything, especially brand positioning. This is the point where that abstract promise becomes a concrete list of things they can do for you. And they also sprinkle in a little social proof. That phrase, award-winning, is such a powerful signal. It's a subtle but really effective way of saying, hey, we don't just say we're good at this. Other people think so too. It's all about building that super important trust and credibility with a potential customer. They also do something else that's smart. They pull out a specific service, search engine optimization, and give it a simple, benefit-focused definition. Instead of getting bogged down in all the technical jargon, they just answer the customer's silent question: what's in it for me? And the answer is super simple. You'll improve your online ranking. Direct, effective, love it. Okay, now that we know what they do and how they do it, the story kind of zooms out to show us their scale. This section is all about establishing their reach, their ambition. It answers that question of, so just how big is this operation anyway? And the statement is crystal clear. Their focus isn't just local, it's global. Now, for a potential client, that signals a few things: experience with different markets, a certain level of sophistication, and probably the ability to handle pretty large-scale projects. And then they make that global claim feel real by listing out these specific regions. It's not just some buzzword they're throwing around, it's a map of their experience. And that just adds another layer of credibility to their whole story. And so here we are, at the end of the journey, the very bottom of the funnel. After making their promise, explaining their philosophy, showing off their services and their scale, there's really only one thing left to do: invite you to take the next step. The entire narrative, everything we've seen, has been leading right here. All the storytelling, the pillars, the services, it's all been designed to build up enough trust and interest for a visitor to actually use one of these contacts. This is the call to action. This is the conversion point where a passive visitor becomes an active lead. So, as we wrap up this little deconstruction, I'm going to leave you with this question. We've seen exactly how Icarus uses their homepage to tell a really clear, structured story, moving from a huge promise all the way to a specific action. Now, think about your own project, your own company, or even just your personal brand. Your homepage is your digital front door. What story is it telling the world about you?